boy. I'm a bit angry, but that's not why I came to you. So, I was at work earlier before I got inebriated. And this guy was there, right? And he's like, it's your responsibility to fix the world. It's your responsibility to make change happen. I don't know if that was from this. And he was like, you have to fix, he's like, all the politicians and all the corporations and all the bullshit, And I'm like, gangsta, it was your generation that brought this on us. Now you're telling me it's my responsibility to take care of that shit. I ain't even made a proper dinner for myself, okay? I'm eating a whole ass cookie. And this guy, and you know, and my buddy was there too, and he was like, like, what do we do? And I'm like, what do we do? Right? Like, we have the older generation now pressuring us to fix everything and make everything right again. But we never experienced right. So like, how do we make that happen? You know, it's easier to revert to old standards or old ways of you know, how things have been. But you want to make progress, and there's no like solution standing in the way, right? There's nobody saying like, hey, here's a solution. It's just like, here's all the problems. We're gonna complain about them all day long, right? We're just gonna keep complaining. Wait, hold on. I just got a lighter. Yeah, and everyone's just gonna keep complaining about all the shit that's wrong, but nobody's presented any solutions, right? It's like, human problems require human solutions. So what are the fucking solutions, guys? And I'm directing this to everyone, even me. I gotta think of solutions now, right? Because I'm not a hypocrite. Well, at least I'm trying not to be, right? It's the best we can do. All I'm saying, though, is that, like, what a lot to put on somebody. Like, now that your generation is taking over, and I'm like, bro, I was on my smoke break. I'm just chilling by the fire, just trying to, like, catch some wind between having to go back and, like, do cleaning and cooking and whatever the fuck else I do. And this guy's just like, it's your responsibility to fix the world. Your generation is what's wrong with the planet. You invented the YouTubes and the TikToks. But honestly, I feel like we've seen some progress since then, to be honest, you know. I feel like things have gotten slightly better. But whatever. Fuck our efforts, right? And I'm like, well, what exactly should we do? You want me to go and scream at some government building, like, make change happen? And they're like, what change would you like? I don't know. Like, that doesn't help, you know? So, the reason that I'm making this whole video, and there's a reason, is that, like, I mean, I have oppositional defiance, so, like, instinctively, I don't want to help this fool. You know, telling me that it's my responsibility and I have to help. I want to make that clear before I say what I'm about to say, but it presented an idea in my head also. As much as I did not like it, because I was like, I'm just going to defy him. Let the world burn! Apparently, that's not a proper answer, right? And so, I was thinking, with all of our heads together, right? If we just think of, like, one way we can help our community for just, like, one day, right? Just one day. And say, like, maybe it's like giving our old clothes to donations, or maybe it's like taking some food donations in, or, just one little thing that we can do for a community. Not something outside of that that's so large, Everyone's trying to fix the entire world as a whole, right? And like everyone's idea of utopia is so subjective. We can't appease anybody, right? So rather than trying to appease anybody, just like, who can we fucking help, right? In this moment, in this time frame, what is within our realm of possibilities of like what we can actually do. Do you have time to volunteer for a wildlife refuge? I don't know. Probably not, right? We're all working, we're all struggling, we're all doing the shit, right? But for example, where I live, in the summertime, you can see like homeless people playing guitar on the sidewalk and shit. And you can have lunch with that person, right? Or, like, for example, we have a lot of runaways in our city, and we have resources for them. But how do we get these resources to them? We need to start, like, putting out pamphlets and shit in the parks and in, places where runaways would probably go, right? And, to kind of, like, help them, find their resources and find who can help them. In terms of like your local government, you have city hall meetings and shit, right? We can go to those, maybe not all the time, but like, everyone wants this change. Everybody wants it. And so if everybody wants it, everybody has to make an effort in that direction. If you're not making an effort in that direction, then shut the fuck up. If you're not making an effort to fix your community for the better, shut the fuck up. Don't tell people that it's their responsibility to take care of your community, especially when the very person who said this to me was financially way better off, right? They're of a better, at a higher, I should say, how do I put that? Like a higher, almost like a rank, but not really, in society, a higher class, right? This dude is wealthy, he's middle-aged, he's white, right? So it's like, dude has all these advantages over me, and yet he's looking at me and saying it's your responsibility to fix the problems with the human race. I'm sorry, sir, but I think maybe it's yours too, right? Like, you can't contribute to a problem constantly and then say it's somebody else's responsibility. It's kind of fucked up. And yes, I'm a bit inebriated, and it's only going to get worse. But I wanted to rant a little bit about this because, who the fuck decides, you were born into the... And you know what he said to me? If you don't like it here, you could leave. And I'm like, I wasn't the one complaining about here, actually. So, if you don't like it, you can leave. I'm working my job. I'm on my smoke break. I don't want to have these political conversations. I don't want to think about politicians and celebrities and those kinds of things. Otherwise, I'd have a fucking TV, bro. And I chose to not have a TV. I didn't bring it when I moved. I got rid of 98% of my belongings because I don't want to participate in bullshit. And yet here we are, participating in bullshit. It's why do I have this responsibility? And I know it's not like personally me, but it's like my entire generation though. And I think in terms of like my friend group and the people I've known from like high school and onward, and like how we've grown and adapted and changed over all the time. And it's like, and now it's put on us, right? And we didn't bring on the Industrial Revolution. We're not the ones acting fucking racist. We're not the ones who implemented laws saying that, like, you have to pay $8 million to be taken to the hospital by an ambulance just to be told that nothing's wrong with you. You know, like, we're not the ones who punish people for trying to be educated in this country, and yet it's now falling on our generation that it's our responsibility to do all these things. Meanwhile, people are still trying to elect people into presidency that have actual like dementia, right? Who are too old to actually function in society. But no, let's have that guy run our country. The guy who's trying to shake hands with curtains, you know? Like, let's have that guy run the country and then tell younger generations, you need to start taking shit seriously. Okay? Well, then let's do that. Let's take shit seriously, right? Let's show them a better way, if you will. Now, I guess I kind of took it as a challenge, too. Because they don't expect us to make things better, right? They expect us to be the reason that they get to complain about shit. They don't expect us to find means of using renewable energies or like creating hydroelectric cars or like all these things. They don't think we're capable of it, despite all the technological advances we've seen in the last 15, 20 fucking years. I remember going from watching like a bulbous TV that had like a dial on it, right? I remember the fucking rotary phone and shit. I remember that I remember my first Walkman. And now they're trying to say that like we're not capable of it, or imply that we're not capable of it, right? It's our responsibility, yet we're not capable of reversing the damage that they created on this earth. And what's interesting though about evolution is that though we have generations of people who are full of lead, and we have generations of people who are full of microplastics and all these other things, guess what humans tend to do, or life in general? It evolves, right? It evolves with the environment. We're barely oxygen breathing as a species. We breathe more nitrogen, carbon dioxide, sulfur, phosphorus, all that shit. We're breathing way more methane than we are oxygen at this point, and we're gonna still just like negate that, right? We're just gonna, or deny that. I should say. Sorry, I'm a bit inebriated, but like, so we're just supposed to like, deny our own evolution in that aspect, because like if we were able to create it, then we're able to evolve to it, right? As fucked up as it is, we have been evolving to it, right? We've got some generations that are dying off because of it, and then we've got newer generations that are stronger because of it. We have kids growing weird ass bones in the back of their necks because they're so used to staring down at their phones. Right? Like they can't even do that. They can't do that. That's crazy. They can't do that. And yet everyone's like, it's the end of the world. Everything's ruined. And what have we seen? The ozone layer has been repairing itself, right? And we've seen how nature restores itself despite our bullshit, right? Despite the bullshit of any species. We're so infinitesimal. How important do humans actually think they are? That they could destroy the earth, right? They destroyed themselves before they destroyed the earth. And, like, yeah, maybe the earth will burn, but does that mean that's the end of the earth? No. It means it's the end of your species, right? And whose fucking fault is that? Whose fault? Because, like, it gets exhausting bearing the weight of the responsibility of older generations that didn't want to get it right when they had an opportunity, right? And now that, like, shit's on, it's probably too late for us. I've been looking at the ecological footprints, and I've been noticing that with our rate of population right now, and like with modern medicine keeping people alive for a long time, like, we're not maintaining a balance here, and it's like Easter Island, right? It's like, if you look at the numbers, we're facing Easter Island at this point. And the only thing that could save us is our scientific means of, like, producing food at a rapid rate, right? And the quality of the food that's coming out is diminishing because we have to produce it at such a rapid rate. We need GMOs, we need growth hormones and all those things in order for supply to meet demand. And that's a bit crazy. It's a bit fucking crazy. Like, and like, it's easy when you're, like, drunk at a bar to tell people, well, we could do this and that and the other thing to fix it. It's easy to say that. But unless we have, like, multitudes of people who actually want to, like, incite change into the world, like, guess what? We're still stuck the same fucking shit that we've been stuck with this whole time. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Isn't it? But it's like, fuck our lives, man. Think about all the other species that don't deserve all the bullshit. And because we have grown so intelligent and yet not intelligent enough, we're, like, stuck in this area where we're still fucking parasites, right? We've been unable to reach a level of reciprocity with the earth that we're able to, like, have a symbiotic, mutualistic relationship with it, right? Where things just flow back and forth, right? We've been unable to do that as a whole, right? As a collective. We've failed because we've succeeded in all these other ways. I remember, like, my ex-husband once made this point to me. He's like, it's kind of funny, how, like, people get so smart. We have things like the Industrial Revolution and everything. Everyone's so smart and they're inventing everything and they're creating all the things. And then, like, 5-10 years later, we find out that that's the very thing that's destroying the world because they were so fucking smart in that moment, And I was like, isn't that funny, right? Like, it's always oftentimes the smartest ideas that become the dumbest ideas, like the H-bomb, But whatever, man. I don't know. I just needed to rant because, like, it felt like a lot of pressure. And this guy doesn't know what I do. He doesn't know that I'm a tarot reader and I actually do, like, invest a lot of my time and energy into helping others. And it's like, bro, if he only knew the weight of what he was asking of me. Because I'm like, you're throwing the entire responsibility of the human race on me, and I don't even want to be a manager. Like, I don't want to be in charge of nobody. And, like, that was a big one. having somebody like come up and actually fucking say that like it's your responsibility. And if you're not gonna make anything change or better, then like who the fuck will? And I'm like, why is this on me? I'm on my smoke break, brother. Like, I'm trying to chill. Like, I am not trying to be thinking about all this, and this is all that's coming into the forefront of like my existence right now. It's all I can think about. Tried to drink and relax, and guess what I'm doing? I'm sitting here ranting about this, man. Like, maybe if we collectively joined heads and we came up with ideas that we could work in our own communities, that'd be sick, right? We could start community gardens or some shit, but like, how do you fucking organize? Like, how do people organize for that shit? For community gardens and like the free fridge things and like, you know, like because like, as far as I've ever seen, like, people are pretty unavailable these days, right? And it's like, if you want to make progress in society, like, we might not be able to save the world from burning at this point. We might not be able to, like, stop ourselves from running out of resources because we're going through them at such a rapid rate. We might not be able to fix those certain things right off the bat. But the things we could fix are the way that we are in our communities, right? The recycling we do in our communities, the helping of others that we do in our communities. You know, everyone's thinking so broadly, and it's like, well, we may not be able to hyperfixate on such a broad idea, but like within our own communities, what can we do, like in the moment, in the time frame? You know, what is within our realm of control? Do we have the time to go to city hall meetings, you know, or city council meetings? Like, do we have the time to be doing these things, you know, to actually have an input and actually, like, restore democracy to the lands? Like, is that a possibility? You know, I mean, maybe I'm just, you know, thinking. But, like, it doesn't seem unreasonable for us to make at least this, like, a smidgen of an effort in our day-to-day lives to like make the life of somebody else not so shitty, right? Like, it's like the least we can do in what little fucking time we have in this infinitesimal fucking planet. Butt crack of a galaxy and the butt crack of a solar system, and or vice versa, solar system in the galaxy, whatever, in the universe, in the multiverse. It's so fucking tiny, and it's in the corner of nothing, and yet everybody takes everything so fucking seriously. And maybe that's the Divine Comedy, the Dante's Inferno shit. That's the Divine Comedy, that everyone's taking this shit so fucking seriously. And ultimately, you are a primate on a rock floating through space, rotating around a giant fiery fart in space, like, and everyone thinks it's so fucking serious. It's not that fucking serious. The thing that is serious is how we behave with one another, right? How we treat each other. The energy we leave with each other. I think that's something that's actually important. But who the fuck am I, right? Anywho's I'm gonna get some rest. I'm done ranting. I love you guys. Namaste. Elevator. Thank you for dealing with my drunken rant. Like, you guys are used to my, like, stoner rants, but, like, this is some next level. We've reached a new level in our, relationship, for whatever you'd call this. Like, this, yeah. But anywho, namaste. I'll see you later.